Have you ever noticed that strategy and manipulation can look exactly the same? Same influence, same persuasion, same push toward a decision. And yet we call one good and we call the other one bad. So where's the line? I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and partly because I'm getting ready to run a leadership webinar, and every marketing book, every sales expert, every coach talks about urgency, scarcity, and persuasion. And if I'm honest, it makes me a little uncomfortable. Not because I doubt what I'm offering, I do believe in it and I know it helps. But I never want somebody to make a decision because I pressured them into it. I want them making decisions because it's right for them, which led me to a bigger question. When does strategy become manipulation? And this isn't just a business question. My sister and I, we talk about this all the time. One of us tells a story about work or a leader or a relationship, and eventually one of us asks, wait a minute, is this strategic or is that manipulative? And so we will go back and forth, but usually the answer isn't obvious. So let's look at the example we had recently so my sister works in education and her team was evaluating different reading programs, several options, multiple vendors, lots of different opinions. But here's what matters. She had spent months doing the research. She looked at the cost. She looked at outcomes. She had talked to all the vendors. She's the one who understood what the trade-offs were. And most people in the room didn't have all of the information that she had. And from her perspective, one option was clearly better. It was called Amplify. So at first, people weren't convinced. So she started thinking about how to present the information to them, how to frame the discussion, how to address the concerns, how to help people see what she saw. I do this work with people all the time. Like, how do we influence? So eventually, the group moved toward Amplify. So here's the question. Was this strategic or was it manipulative? Because she absolutely influenced the outcome. She was not neutral. She had a preferred direction, but she also wasn't doing it for personal gain. She believed it was the best decision for her students and for the school. What do we call that? If influence is manipulation, then leaders manipulate. Teachers, parents, coaches, we're all manipulating. And that doesn't feel right either because influence isn't the problem. In fact, if you're leading anything, influence is part of the job. The real question is what sits underneath it. And the more and more I've thought about this, the less I think the difference is in tactic. And I think it's more about the intention because the same behavior can look very different depending on what's driving it. So if you think about am I helping someone see something they can't see? Or am I trying to get what I want? Am I serving the outcome or am I serving myself? Am I willing to be wrong or have I already decided what the answer is and now I'm just trying to get everyone else to agree with me? And maybe this is where the line starts to appear. Again, not in the tactic, not in the influence, not in the persuasion, but in the attachment. Because a strategic person can be persuaded. A manipulative person, I don't think they can. A strategic person is trying to find the best answer, and a manipulative person is trying to get their answer. Those are two different things. So a strategic person builds their conclusions from reality. A manipulative person tries to build reality around their conclusion. So one is searching for what's true, and the other is searching for compliance. One wants the best outcome, the other wants their outcome. So this brings me back to the webinar, okay? And marketing and leadership, because I don't think the goal is to stop influencing people. I think the goal is to influence ethically, to advocate for what you believe, to share what you see, to present your case, to make recommendations, and then stay open to the possibility that you might be wrong. Because if someone pulled back the curtain and saw exactly what I was doing right now, would they still trust me? I think that might be the real question. Not whether we're influencing people, because we're all doing that. But the question is why? And whether we're trying to discover the best answer or simply get our answer. Where do you draw the line? I would really love to hear your perspective in the comments. And, if you do enjoy exploring these kind of leadership questions with me, please do go ahead and hit subscribe and turn on notifications. And I'll see you next time.